Yes, I have the word on the street is that before we hop into Master Duel talk, we have a Dinka Bui deck profile to react to as well. So this is the Magical Musketeer Fiendsmith deck that was already I heard about this deck from, so Cameron Neal played it at the playoffs in North America, but did not, I think he lost the first round or maybe the second. And then Pac told me about it. I was talking to Pac the week before Euros. I was talking to him about my deck choice and so on and so forth. And he was like, you should try the Magical Musketeer Fiendsmith deck. And I was like, I don't know. There's very little time. I don't have the cards. I'm not familiar with the deck. And so I'm just going to focus on building my White Forest deck. Obviously, Dinka Bui was never going to show up to the European Championship just playing Snake Eyes, right? So... apparently he tried the deck and thought it was good. Maybe he was on it even before the NA playoffs or whatever, like before it got out there. I believe Christian Urena also posted a deck profile of it a couple days ago. I think the basic idea of this deck is that against Snake Eyes, it goes second really, really well. So I think, so what Pac told me about was a blind second Magical Musketeer deck. But then what Dinka played, or what Dinka said at least, was that his deck only wants to go second against Snake Eyes. So let's say your opponent is playing 45 cards or something and you win the dice roll, you can make an educated guess. Well, they're probably playing Snake Eyes, so I'm going to go second. But if your opponent is playing like 40 cards, it's much more likely that they play something else. So against other matchups, the deck wants to go first, apparently. But let's hear it from Dinka.
Hello guys, welcome to the Raintrader channel. We're here with Dinka Bui, who got top 64 at the European Championship with his Magical Musketeer deck. Yeah, anything you want to say before we get into the deck list?
I don't think so. I just wanted to say, yeah, that the deck is built to go first usually. Shout out to Maxi.
Yeah.
The deck has a pretty niche position in the meta because going first, it can set up a pretty good boards. It's more fragile than Snake Eyes, of course, but the going second with pure engine is a lot better in my opinion. Yeah, and also a lot of people are not familiar with the cards, so you get an advantage for that. Yeah.
Alright, so let's get into the list.
For the Musket monsters, I played 3 Starfire. This is the best card of the deck. You always want to open this card. This card plus any activated with Bell is a pretty good combo. The second best Musket monster is the Casper.
Leaks Suzge. Yeah, this is my wants list for retro formats. Huge leak, insane leak. I've been building some retro decks, and these are some parts that I was missing. Can't believe it got out there.
Who searches any Musket card. 1 block for recursion, and you want to play 3 names just to be able to summon 3 of the link 1.
Okay, so wait, so Caspar, if you activate in the column, it adds 1 from deck? Or what? Like, I think Calamity adds 1 from graveyard, right? So this one special summons, this one adds a spell trap, and this one adds back. Okay.
If the opponent has 3 or more spell trap cards. That's for the Musket monsters. For this Fiendsmith stuff, 3 engrave, but this card is insane in this deck because this searches Attractors, and Attractor searches the whole deck basically.
Oh right, yeah, they're all light fiends. I keep forgetting Tractus searches something that's not Lurie. But obviously, yeah, any light fiend.
Tractus.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good, and also 3 Sanctus. I opted to play 3 Sanctus because this one is really good to start off your turn.
Dude, I was thinking about Fiendsmith Sanct also in like Yugioh, because like I feel like people overlook the fact that you can just use this as a more ways to start your Fiendsmith combos, right? Like it's just a 1-card Requiem. And in decks that you don't care about the Fiend attack lock, I think it's fine to play Sanct.
Because it enables 1 proc for your Musket cards and summons one body for more extension, basically.
It locks you into Light Fiend. No, I think Sanct just says you can only attack with Fiend monsters for the rest of the turn. think that was the restriction. Runic Musketeer exists? Yeah, I know.
And 1 lorry for the track if you already have your muskets or your engraver in play.
You need to only control Light Fiend to use it? Yeah, or nothing. Like, you can just start off with it, right? But in this deck, it's even better because you can, like, normal summon a Musketeer and then activate Sanct in the same column, right? So, like, it's even better here. I was just saying, like, I think this card is a little overlooked because it's not standard in the minimal Fiendsmith package, but, like, it still is a good card, I think, in the context of the Fiendsmith deck. Because it's just another card that starts the Fiendsmith combo.
The last 2 monsters in the deck were 1 Shavara for the engine combo and 1 Diabolica. Also for some combos, which I can show you later. That's for the monsters. For the spells, 3 Prosperity for consistency. Usually, you only want to banish 3 of this card because your extra deck is very, very important. If you go first, at least. Going second, I opted to side out these a couple of times. Depends on the matchup. 3 talents, 3 droplets, and 3 link in the range as additional breakers. This one is obviously nuts with the link 1. This one also works going first with if you do too many monsters. If you do, for example, a Starfire and 1 Casper, you can normally summon 1, activate this card in the same column as your musket monster, and then get your procs without your opponent being able to respond to that. As 2 additional board breakers and also spell cards to activate first turn, 2 Foolish Burial Goods with
Goat?
1
Yeah.
the Black God Love. This is mainly for Appaloosa or IP, depends on the hand. Which card is more problematic, you just call the name and then you can try to play the game. And 1 Called by the Grave as last non-engine, basically. For the musket.
Until here, it looks all cool and fun, and now we get to the cards that we don't want to draw.
And Unchained.
For the most part, right?
I played
Bob.
one negate for monsters, one trap to pop face-up cards, the triple Yugioh, the spell trap negate, and the chamber. Because usually you want to pop your own rage to add back the engraver from the graveyard to keep on playing. That's why this one is way better than the escape. And I think 4 is fine. This one is very important if you go first, just to counter board breakers from the opponent, like droplets or...
This is just a rescue ace deck? Kind of, yeah. So, like, the idea is basically the reason why it's so good going second into Snake Eyes, especially if you draw Link into the Reins, because Link into the Reins makes it so that the opponent cannot respond to Magical Musketeer Max, which I think it needs any Musketeer, right? And then you just search Musketeer cards up to the number of, like, cards your opponent controls or monsters your opponent controls. I'm not sure. But either way, your opponent can't respond to that. So you get all these free searches. And then up to the back row. Yeah, something like... Let me read Magical Musketeer Max real quick. Magical Musketeer Max. No, it's different. It's the number of monsters that your opponent has, not spell traps. You can it's either add spell traps from your deck to your hand up to the number of monsters they have, or special summon muskets with different names up to the number of spell traps that your opponent has. Right, that's where the confusion came from. It has 2 different effects that you can choose. And usually, obviously, against the meta decks, they will have way more monsters, so you will go for the search effect. You will not go for the special summon effect. But I guess if you're playing against Labyrinth or something, you can go, like, summon out all your muskets from the deck. You can also do that. But The good thing here is you get like basically these cards, these spell traps are insane against the Snake Eye. The triple DD Crow is nuts. Because you can just banish the like Promethean, Flamberge, and something else. It's like really good. You have like an Imperm, a Pop, a Banish 3, and a Spell Trap Negate. It's like really good to play into the... Turns out if you can just search these 4 for free going second into Snake Eyes, that's enough cards to break their board usually.
Clean 40 in the main deck. For the extra deck, I played 15 one-offs. For the Link Monsters, one max. This card is insane. You usually summon this one during your combo multiple times because you link off your musket to summon this, just to have more free cards off the back with your Fiendsmith cards with Sequence, Lacrimosa, or the Engraver. One Requiem, one Sequence, one Lacrimosa, and also one Desiree. For the Unchains, one Yama. This card is insane. You always go through these 2 during your first turn combo. One Anguish for breaking boards, and also one Access Code. Anguish and Access Code is still really good. This out like one body without triggering a Flamberge card to summon Access Code after using the Anguish, and then you pop like 2 more cards, and afterwards
you that's nice.
Just, put Typhon on top of Access Code and bounce like the last monster, which is usually like a Desiree from the opponent. Then one SP, one Appaloosa for the end board, one Caesar, and both TCG.
It's especially cool because Typhon is a fiend, right? And so when you make Access Code after you use Sanct, you can't attack with it. But then if you just turn it into a Typhon, it still can. So you need to put up a little bit of damage next to it, but you can still kill. After going Access Code, pop their board, you Typhon on it, and then you just have to put up a little bit of extra damage.
Exclusives, which are also needed for some combos. The side deck, yeah, this for time reasons. 2 Malchami, because I didn't have more space left in the side deck. I think I should have played 3 of this instead of the 1 Changer Fart.
Dude, the Mal Charmy situation at Euros was crazy, by the way. Like, people were looking for that card on Friday, like, so desperately. Like, the card, every vendor sold out, I think. No one had it anymore. Like, everyone went crazy to find Mal Charmies, which is crazy to think about when, like, everyone knew you were gonna need it. Like, it was, I don't know. People were surprised suddenly that the card was good. I don't know. It's...
Usually I did not cite this in because I was afraid of people letting me go first after game 1. That's why this card was basically dead in my set deck. So I prefer to play a free Malchami just to cover the Witcher Beast matchup better. Which is scary because Protoss just FTK soup, basically. Then also 1 Changer Fort, hard with 3 Thrust. Thrust can also grab you a Link into the Reigns going second.
Yeah, Thrust is insane in this deck. If you go second into a board and grab Link into the Reigns.
Second, which is really good. For going first, these are also good because I do side 1 DDG and 1 Barrier. 1 Rivalry and 3 Cosmics for stun decks, but also against skill drain. If Snake Eyes plays skill, then you can also hit the IP sometimes. And this also procs your Maskers on second if you need.
Alright.
That was for the deck. I would show you some combos. Yeah. Two simple combos.
So this is the extent to which I understand the deck, right? Like I haven't looked into the first turn combos at all, so we're gonna check this out.
You guys know how the deck functions. Basically, any musket normal summon is actually combo because you can just normal summon a musket. Link that one off for max. link this one off for
Oh yeah,
Requiem.
you get an extra light fiend in the graveyard because you can go through the link 1, so you always have better math on your shuffle backs with sequence and stuff.
You summon Engraver, equip this Engraver, use these off for the Necro Crypt, special summon this back to recycle your max. Then you go into sequence.
So this is where if you're not playing this deck, you have one less light fiend in the graveyard. So if you want to summon Lacrima here, you have nothing to revive. But because our normal summon was essentially 2 light fiend bodies in the graveyard, we can shuffle back 2.
In fact, we have 3
and still
light fiends.
Yeah.
You keep the Engraver in graveyard, which is very important to use of these 2.
Yeah.
For the Aerial Eater.
Wait, Aerial Eater?
This one jumps on summon the Diabolica. What this card says, if this card gets sent to the graveyard by a card effect, this, you can target another fiend type monster in your graveyard to add it back to your hand.
Ah, okay.
Or the second effect is if a fiend type monster is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but it gets banished when it leaves the field. But you can only use one of these effects per turn. So you use the effect to add back your Engraver, but you can discard to add your Tract. You can link these 2 off for Yama, which searches Shavara, because now you have 2 level 6 or higher Dark Fiend type monsters. With the Necro Crypt and the Diabolica, you can banish both of them to summon back the Area Eater. So you can link these off for Rage. You summon the Rage, pop this, so you get this one back on board and this one to the hand. Yama also pops this, so you get your Jammer set. Then you go attract this for Casper, discard any card from your hand, and then you use the graduate effect to banish this card to use these off from your hand to summon the Lacrima, and this one revives the Casper. Go play these for Caesar.
Lacrima can do that?
And pass your turn. So you have two interruptions of Caesar. If you can call it 3 interruptions of Rage into SP, and also the Casper triggers to search you, usually the Desperado to negate cards like Droplet or Talons, something like that. Yeah, that's
pretty cool.
Just off 1 musket card.
It's still, I mean, it's a Fiendsmith combo at the end of the day, but I feel like out of all the Fiendsmith combos I've seen, this one is the one that I find the coolest. Because it's Musketeers.
The 2 of card combos with Starfire are even better. You can add on Appaloosa, Dice Array, and other stuff. But this is like a pretty standard
Obviously, it starts getting really powerful and really broken once we have more extenders and stuff like that, but yeah.
Just if you open 1 on the summon musket. Yeah.
So, any shoutouts? Anything to say?
Yeah, shout out to the team, of course, especially to Zio and Daniel, who did a lot of theory with me. Also, shout out to Lutka, a friend who told me to play the deck. I gave it a chance and I liked it, so shout out to him, of course. Shout out to everyone who tested with me. Shout out to Jack, Tom, Tritai, Justin, Leonard, Dennis. Also to my friends from my local store, Leon, Rohard, Colin. Yeah, I hope I didn't forget anyone.
Alright, thank you for the profile.
Alright, that was cool. I wonder how similar this is to the other versions, because I think the one that the Americans played was blind second. I think I prefer not going blind second in this format if you can avoid it, because at least in my head, it feels like blinding second in this deck only really works out, like only really consistently works out if you open Link into the Reigns, right? Like if you don't open Link into the Reigns going second, it feels like you have a hard time picking apart your opponent's board. This is also blind second? No, it's not. He said that in the beginning. It is not blind second. No, it's not. Literally first words of the profile.
Hello guys, welcome to the Rain Trade channel. We're here with Dinka, who got top 64 at the European Championship with his magical Musketeer deck. Yeah, anything you want to say before we get into the deck list?
I don't think so. I just wanted to say, yeah, that the deck is built to go first usually.
Me when I spread misinformation on the internet. Anyways, I think the deck's cool. I wish, like, I think stuff like this, stuff like the people that performed with Memento, the people that performed with Ritual Beast, even the fact that I was able to perform with the White Forest cards, this stuff, like, Yu-Gi-Oh can always you can always do something in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like even in the formats that maybe you don't think are great or whatever, like there's always something to be done about it, and you can see people that will continue to do so. So I think it's like it's just a great game.